Well, good morning, friends. Hi. Hey, Friday, May 1st. We've made it to May. We got to the end of April, which felt like it was maybe like 5 years long in and of itself. Um, it's also a day of celebrating as we're transitioning from springtime is really getting well underway, and we're starting to make our way towards summertime. So Beltane, um, dancing around a maypole. But the challenge now with doing things like this on your own or with the people that that you live with. So if you can, like, find some time to just kind of, hi Ginger, get out and just honor nature in some way today. I think I found a box of trim and sparkly ribbon, so I'm gonna happy April 97th. Yes, right? Oh my God. Oh, this is the month that never ends. Oh my goodness. Um, yeah, but I'll go out a little bit later and I'm gonna decorate a tree out front with some bright, fun, shiny ribbon. I've already got some colored lights out there, and just, I don't know, make it interesting for people to look at as they go by over the next, week or so. I don't think we have any rain forecast, so I can use some of the cloth ribbon and things like that. But just have it be fun and cheery. Do something like that. Um, yeah, mostly doing okay. Just like I kind of feel like I've settled into a relatively new normal. So, um, actually woke up this morning and was like, okay, like, got some stuff to do, got some plans for things. I'm also taking this time to really work with building up some like my online business offerings and presence. So that, like, integration of like magical things and fitness and bringing them all together. So I'm looking at this video. I'm hoping it seemed to be doing a weird glitchy thing, but maybe it's better. But so we're going to look at our card for today. With our springtime. Yesterday we had the devil, which was an interesting one. So I enjoyed. There were things that I got to really enjoy doing, and I really leaned into it. And one of them was creating a dance piece that's going to be part of a viewing party for a friend's birthday tomorrow. And at first, I wasn't really fully feeling like, oh, do I want to do this in costume? Do I want to put makeup on? Do I want to, And then I thought, might as well just do it. I had a video that was ready to go where I was in more like casual stuff, but actually like putting on the costume and the makeup and then doing the the dance piece for the video, it really helped. It felt like a little connection to kind of how things were before, and also was fun to create this as a way of it being like an expression and a gift for a very dear friend. So yeah, it was fun, and yeah, it felt very like that was something I needed to do. And I don't know that's something I'm going to want to do all that often, because honestly, spending a lot of time putting makeup on and then like having it only on for like 15 minutes and then taking it off, it feels kind of silly. Usually I put makeup on and it's on for a lot longer because, going to an event and being at an event for several hours and then coming home, and it feels like that time was a little more worth it. But it was still worth it, but in a different way. So our card. Oh, all right. We're like really playing around with these. We've had several with the major arcana that have shown up in kind of a similar. So like we've had over the last few days, we had now I'm dreaming of like we had the star. We had the devil yesterday, and I think last week at one point we had the tower. So they're ones that are all kind of similarly around each other. So this one is coming after the tower. So our moon So we're looking at a lot of this is like the unconscious, the things that you don't see, things that also might be illusions. So looking at like what are your perceptions like? Are they something that's actually helping you, or are you being kind of dissuaded by the stories that you've made up in order to create meaning, but those stories aren't actually going to be helpful or useful for you, and they might actually kind of send you in a direction that's not going to be helpful. Um, yeah. So this one is, some people find this one kind of a scary one. I find it as one that's it's intriguing. It's very, to me, it's like the, dreams and visions. And interestingly enough, this is, so usually the card has like wolves on it, but this one has two snakes, and they look kind of like rattlesnakes, which is interesting because I have, it's like that's the recurring theme that I have in dreams. It's not all the time, but at least once a year, I have a dream that involves rattlesnakes in some way. And it's always like very specifically rattlesnakes. Sometimes it's adult ones, sometimes it's little ones. Sometimes I'm trying to like walk through a muddy field that has a whole bunch of snakes in it. It's very, they're very stressful. I'll say that. Like, yes, they're very stressful. I've only had a couple of the dreams wherein I actually got bit. But yeah, so I'm always like trying to find ways of navigating around them, which is just very interesting that that's the one like sign and signal that has always shown up. I mean, it's not completely surprising. Growing up in rural Northern California, rattlesnakes are a real thing. They like granite outcrops. That's where they tend to live. Going out, riding with horses and stuff. Like we would always be very mindful, kind of where we were going. You know, there's a vaccine. We would get the dogs with a vaccine that would help them in case they did get bit. Because dogs are inquisitive and go and stick their nose in places they're not supposed to. And other things too, like this time of year is when, they would start coming out because it's starting to get warmer. And so just being like mindful of where you step. Are they hiding in the shade under a step, under the stairs outside, like making just kind of checking out what's going on. Generally though, like they didn't want to be in anywhere where like the horses were. Pretty much if there's a lot of movement, they don't really want to be there. So, but every once in a while, we would get one that would just kind of like seem a little confused and lost. And we would call someone to come and relocate it. I have not ever killed one of the snakes because they serve a purpose. And even though they can be kind of scary, I feel very much like they have their place. Like they need to be, but they don't need to be like right under my stairs or in the garage. That's not where I want them. It's not where they're going to be helpful. Yeah, so it's just interesting that this card with the moon that they chose, rattlesnake or viper of some sort. Yeah. Okay, the moon. Okay, so with this card, our moon. So I love this first part. Don't panic. Do you have your towel? Any Douglas Adams fans? Okay, face your fears. Recognize the limits of your perception. Accept being in the dark for now. Reach out for guidance and clarity. So the moon brings us face to face with our inner demons and makes us confront primordial fear and anxiety. Yep. So maybe that's what's happening in my dreams, is just like I get this way of being able to experience dealing with this like really deep-seated like fear for survival. I don't know. The moon illuminates our inward landscapes more accurately than it does the outer ones. Although moonlight can distort the shapes of what we see and transform them into nightmares, the moon warns you that you're currently subject to illusions, distortions, deceptions, and misunderstandings. If you are looking for direction, this card reminds you of the factors that are keeping you lost, bewildered, and disoriented. If things feel too good or too bad, to be true, you're probably not seeing them clearly. The moon can also be an invitation to submerge into your psychic waters. When the moon shines its light into your reading, recognize that this isn't an easy time for clear answers, certain direction, or logical planning. Instead, you're being asked to journey through some of the darker shadows of your soul. Have a conversation with those shadow parts, the parts that you have been taught to banish because they're not good enough. Remind yourself that these parts are as deserving of love and gentleness as those parts of yourself that you are comfortable showing in the full light. This can be an alarming time, but it doesn't have to be perilous. Look to other cards in your reading to offer you a sense of grounding and insight and help lead you through this uncertain terrain. So on that note, I was going to take a peek at what one is at the bottom of, oops, I'm making a mess here. Interesting. Okay, so we have our oracle, sometimes known as the magician. So this can be a guiding light for looking towards your sense of creation and magic. Although interesting, there is a moon behind him. So sometimes magicians, illusion. So with our oracle, I love this card. I just want to say, like, this is just like, it's beautiful. I love this. I love this. I love this. Both with the long flowing hair and these like darker flames, and the way it's like rising up, and then this scarf that's wrapped around. It's just really interesting, but it's also still has a sense of the different elements in it. So, we're looking for a little support, a little guidance, and Oracle is even more of this invitation to have into like looking at that insight. So look at your intuition, deep below conscious thought. This is the voice of mystery. So it's inviting you to approach the unknown, the off limits, and to acknowledge your unconscious and your shadow. Again, hey, I've got two cards that are like, pay attention. Two cards that are like, it might be an illusion. This could be your shadow talking, but pay attention to it. Okay. So to attain insight and wisdom, don't rely on the obvious or rational. Instead, surrender yourself to fate or seemingly random chance. This openness may reveal hidden meaning from within the mundane experience of daily life, offering you a glimpse behind the veil. You may sense seeds of potential that have yet to sprout or unfurl. Trust that they will develop slowly and reveal themselves when the time is right. So this is a time to step back, to withdraw from a leadership role, or let go of your need for control. Release your tight grip on the steering wheel. Move from the driver's seat to the passenger seat. Be calm, patient, and receptive. Allow messages and meanings to bubble up from underneath. An awareness of deeper or underlying reality is slowly dawning. Trust in the process of revelation. Let it unfold on its own. Dreams, imagination, and intuitive impressions will offer valuable insights if you remain open to them and allow the subterranean god or goddess wisdom to fill you up. Sink in. So yeah, our two cards for today. So we had, oops, flip these around. Okay, we had our moon first, and then our oracle as a supporting. So again, it's like you have this, you have that internal, yourself really, really well. And you might even know yourself better than you're willing to admit. And so use that knowledge to help you however you need it. But also take some time to connect to something kind of magical and playful and fun today. Whether it's something creative, could be something for the family, it could be something just for you. But, have a little air of like wonder and mystery and playfulness with it. So I hope you have a wonderful Friday. And if you're able to do a little something to kind of celebrate our changing of seasons as spring moves into summer, eat something tasty, maybe enjoy a little like bonfire outside, but make it safe. No, no catching things on fire that aren't supposed to be there. Or maybe just light a candle, collect some flowers, something that just really kind of grounds you and connects you with nature, but also just your sense of enjoyment of your body and yourself. All right. Have a good Friday, friends. Thanks.